Hey everybody, it's 4:20 p.m. here at the Howling Moon Studios in Northern California. But believe it or not, where I am or when I am, today's Wednesday. And if we lived in Boston, it would be Prince Spaghetti Day. But we're in California. You're watching this on Saturday. And the reason is because I'm back east. We're doing the memorial service for Jason's brother today. And so I wanted to be with the family. So a bunch of us headed back east for that. And in order to do that, I had to pre-record the show. So this is the show that I want you to think about for Saturday. Or, sorry, it's the show I want you to enjoy for Saturday. It's the show I'm thinking about for Saturday. And it's interesting because today being Wednesday, it's the middle of the week, and I am having what can only be described as the wildest week in a long, long time. You may have noticed that a woman named Frances Haugen, who is, so Frances Haugen is the Facebook whistleblower, and she revealed her identity on Sunday on 60 Minutes, and then testified before a Senate Commerce subcommittee on Tuesday. Well, you can imagine that, especially if you saw some of it, that it might create a splash. I mean, Frances Haugen is incredibly courageous. To be a whistleblower and to bring documents out of a company like Facebook is a huge deal and incredibly risky, and so it takes great courage. But she's also so authoritative. I mean, her training, I mean, she is an expert in the design of algorithms. And, for Congress, which is trying to figure out what to do about Facebook, and frankly, what to do about all internet platforms, someone who is an expert on algorithms is a good person to talk to. But most of all, she was convincing. I mean, so convincing. Incredibly articulate, thoughtful. There are a few things I could quibble with in terms of her ideas for how to fix things going forward, but her explanation of the problems and her willingness to speak directly to the issues, that's pretty amazing. Well, what happened was that, I don't know Frances, haven't met her, but I know a little something about Facebook, and so a few people sought out my point of view. And it started Monday afternoon. I had 3 calls to do television on Monday. And a whole bunch to do them on Tuesday. By the time Tuesday was done, I'd done 10 more television interviews and a radio interview. And then this morning, I did 3 more TV interviews. So that's 16 TV interviews and a radio interview in 48 hours. And, you say, well, how big a deal was that? I mean, it's probably not the biggest deal on earth, except that today and yesterday, the first interviews started at 5 a.m., which means I had to be up by 4. That's tricky. So, it's a good thing I believe in the cause, because it would have been hard to do otherwise. And, but I promised you guys I would do a show for this weekend, and this is the only time I can do it. So if I don't play very well today, you'll understand it's because I've, 1, been a little busy, and 2, I am pretty strung out. Just really tired. But this is coming from the heart. And sometimes when it comes from the heart, it doesn't matter how tired you are. And I'm hoping for one of those. But it's going to be a close call. Anyway, I'm playing this for Christopher Crosby, Jason's younger brother. And I want his memory to bring joy to all those who knew him. And I want his memory to provide both, I guess, inspiration and a lesson. And I just want it to be a reminder to make the most of every day. Let people around you know that you love them. Take good care of them, and take good care of yourself. Heard there was a secret chord that Elvis played and it pleased me loud, but you don't really care for music, do you? Goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to your kitchen chair, she broke your throat, she cut your hair. From your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before. I know this room. I've walked the floor. You know I lived alone before I knew you. Seen your flag on the marble arch. Love is not a victory march, it's a cold, it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You say I took the name in vain. I don't even know the name, and if I did, why really, what's it to you? There's a blaze of light in every word. It doesn't matter which you heard, the holy or the broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I did my best, it wasn't much. Couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. Told the truth, I didn't mean to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I knew before the Lord of Song, with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. thought of you. I could walk forever through my garden. Dream one day you'd love me, hope it will come true, that I could beg your hand and not your pardon. Acre upon acre of yellow, red and blue, a sea of flowers nurtured by my hand. Never could my garden smell as sweet as you, though it blooms with every fragrance known to man. If I had a flower for every time I thought of you, I could walk forever through my garden. I dream one day you'll love me, hope it will come true, that I could beg your hand and not your pardon. Roses for each time you laugh, set my heart ablaze. An orchid for each time you say my name. Poppies, pansies, daffodils, all are in the game, planting seeds and flowers, dreaming by the hour of love that's sure to last for all my days. If I had a flower for every time I thought of you, I could walk forever through my garden. Dream one day you'll love me, I hope it will come true, that I could beg your hand and not your pardon. Dream one day you'll love me, I hope it will come true, that I could beg your hand, not your pardon. In my dreams I'm gonna build a giant ocean liner. In my dreams it will be like Titanic, only finer. In my dreams the passengers will come from cable news and politics, blowhards and hypocrites divide the country with their sticks. The network and the wingnuts stoke anger and resentment, while 6 white souls in Washington roll back the Enlightenment. The speaker thinks it's peachy, the turtle thinks it's hot. They both claim to be Lincoln, but honest Dave, they're not. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. The captain is that guy whose cruise ship ran aground. They say he's reborn, but he's nowhere to be found. I'll send the apprentice and the model, Tweedledum and Tweedledee, and their fashion-selling daughter and her preppy out to sea, and all the angry white folks with their statues and their swastikas, gun nuts and side patrols, putting down the rest of us. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look out, is that guy from the Exxon Valdez? He'll be 3 sheets to the wind, even when there is no breeze. In my dreams I'm gonna build a maritime disaster. In my dreams it will sink like Titanic, only faster. In my dreams they give out prizes for getting rid of bad guys, but my ship's not big enough for all the assholes and their big lies. In my dreams I've got a second ship to carry all the overflow, several others in construction, 'cause the asshole population grows. Yes, it grows. Pacific breezes carry sounds of laughter and of tears, of people's grand adventures, of happiness and fears, people taking risks, of people losing all, of people getting up again every time they fall. That's right. Some paddle out at daybreak, some paddle out at night, some won't paddle out at all for fear a shark may bite. Some live near the mountains, some live near the bay, some live every moment of every single day. That's right. Let me take your hand, my friend, join you on your way. Journey hut, a million steps, begins from here this day. Break out from your comfort zone, escape the prison you call home, awaken dreams of things postponed, of things postponed. Live a little, love a little, do it all the time. Eat a little, smoke a little, little's not a crime. Buy a little, sell a little, let a little burn. Buy a little, sell a little, let a little burn. That's right. 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 Have a perfect home, a perfect job, a perfect dog. Maybe just the opposite, a mud hole in a bog. Maybe in the middle, where the days are all the same. Maybe you just wonder if it's you that is to blame. That's right. Let me take your hand, my friend, join you on your way. A journey hut, a million steps, begins from here this day. Break out from your comfort zone, escape the prison you call home, awaken dreams of things postponed, of things postponed. Live a little, love a little, do it all the time. Eat a little, smoke busted flat, Baton Rouge, waiting for a train, feeling nearly faded as my jeans. Bobby flat, the diesel down just before it rained. Took us all the way to New Orleans. Well, I took my hop on out of my dirty red bandana. I was blowing sad while Bobby sang the blues. With those windshield wipers slapping time and Bobby clapping hand, we sang near every song that driver knew. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to do. Nothing with nothing, but it's free. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when Bobby sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and Bobby McGee. From the coal mines of Kentucky to the California sun, Bobby shared the secrets of my soul. Standing right beside me, Lord, through everything I've done. Bobby's body kept me from the cold. But then somewhere near Salinas, Lord, I let her slip away. Looking for that home now, hope she finds it. Well, I tread on my tomorrows for a single yesterday, holding Bobby's body close to mine. Freedom, just another word for nothing left to do. Nothing was all she left for me. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when Bobby sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and Bobby McGee. Hey, de la, de la, de la, hey, de la, hey, de la, Bobby McGee. Hey, de la, hey, de la, hey, de la, Bobby McGee. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing was all she left for me. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when Bobby sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me, Bobby McGee. Trailer for sale around, room to live 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes, but 2 hours pushing broom by the 8 by 12 4-bedroom. My enemies by no stop midnight train, destination Bangor, Maine. Old worn out suit and shoes, I don't pay no union dues. I smoke old stogies I have found, short but not too big around. Man of means by no means king of the road. I know every engineer on every train, and all of the women and all of their names, and every handout and every town, and every door that isn't locked when no one's around. I say, trailer for sailoring, rooms to let 50 cents, no phone, no poo, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes. I've been 2 hours of pushing broom bars, a 8 by 12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means by no means king of the road. I'm a king of the road. I'm a king of the road. Was a wealthy merchant, London he did dwell. He had a lovely daughter, the truth to you I tell. The truth to you I tell. She had sweethearts aplenty and men of high degree, but none but Jack the sailor her true love e'er could be. Her true love e'er could be. Well, Jackie's gone a-sailing with trouble on his mind. He left his native country and his darling girl behind. His darling girl behind. She went down to a tanner shop, dressed in men's array, and climbed aboard a vessel to convey herself away. To convey herself away. Before you get on board, sir, your name I'd like to know. She smiled in all her countenance, they call me Jackaroo. They call me Jackaroo. See, your waist is slender, your fingers they are small, your cheeks too red and rosy to face the cannonball. To face the cannonball. Well, I know my waist is slender, my fingers they are small, but it would not make me tremble to see 10,000 fall. To see 10,000 fall. The war soon being over, she went and looked around, and among the sick and wounded her darling boy she found. Oh, her darling boy she found. She picked him up all in her arms, carried him to the town. She sent for a physician who quickly healed his wound. Who quickly healed his wound. Couple they got married, so well you will agree. This couple, they got married, so why not you and me? 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 Oh, what a day for a daydream. What a day for a daydreaming boy. I'm lost in a daydream. Dream about my bundle of joy. And even if time ain't really on my side, it's one of those days for taking a walk outside. I'm blowing the day to take a walk in the sun and follow my face in somebody's new mud lawn. I've been having a sweet dream. I've been dreaming since I woke up today, starring me and my sweet dream. 'Cause she's the one that makes me feel this way. And even if time has passed me by a lot, I couldn't care less about the dues you say I've got. Tomorrow I'll pay the dues for dropping my load and find my face with being a sleepy bull toad. Do 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 do. And you can be sure that if you're feeling right, a daydream will last long into the night. Tomorrow at breakfast you may prick up your ears, or you may be daydreaming for 1,000 years. Oh, what a day for a daydream, custom made for a daydreaming boy. And I'm lost in a daydream, dreaming about my bundle of joy. Do 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 Sunlight through a hotel window, marina swaying wide, gentle sways, harbor smells, afternoon and night, voices from the cafe tables, the soundtrack for their life. She dreamed he'd be a memory soon, he dreamed she'd be his wife. He said, I think you're lovely. He said, you always glow. He said, you thrill me like no other, and forevermore. He said, you take my breath away. You're perfect, this I know. She turned to him and said, I'm glad you think so. Twilight turns to evening, evening turns to night. Heartbeat slows and traffic flows, artificial light. Voices from the street below, voices in his head. From a dream she stood before him. This is what he said. He said, I think you're lovely. He said, you always glow. He said, you thrill me like no other, and forevermore. Take my breath away. You're perfect, this I know. She turned to him and said, I'm glad you think so. She said, I'm glad you think that I'm as perfect as can be. I only wish I saw in you the things you see in me. Well, that she turned and left him standing by the door. And as she disappeared, he cried and echoed forevermore. He said, you know you're lovely. You know you always glow. You know you thrill me like no other, and forevermore. You know you take my breath away. You're perfect, this I know. And him and said, I'm glad you think so. In his head she said, I'm glad you think so. In his head she said, I'm glad you think so. This one's for Tracy. Southern Cross shone distant, beacon in the night. Constellations burning, beckoning light. Trouble above, darkness falls. Orion is broken, the eagle is lost. Raining down to the ground, stars fall from the sky. Life is changed, rearranged in the blink of an eye. Mountains of rain reflect the pain. We hear the swirling of the wind. clouds of tears, undiminished by the years, haunting us over and over again. Raining down to the ground, stars fall from the sky. Life is changed, rearranged in the blink of an eye. Empty the clouds, some in the wind. How many times we start over again? The slate looks clean, but underneath the chalk remembers so beneath. Empty the clouds, some in the wind. How many times can we start over again? Orion is back in the southern sky. Prophets know the eagle will fly. Southern Cross shine closer, a beacon in the night. Constellations burning, beckoning bright. Raining down to the ground, stars fall from the sky. Life is changed, rearranged in the blink of an eye. Raining down to the ground, stars fall from the sky. Life is changed, rearranged in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye. So when I was doing all this TV stuff, one of the questions that came up every time is, is it different this time? And I think relative to Facebook, at least, it is different. That there has been one scandal after another in the 5 years that I've been working on this. And, the first few was, they just skated right through. Myanmar. I mean, how in God's name does a company skate through an ethnic cleansing? I mean, how did they get through 2016? Myanmar was 2017. They got stung by Cambridge Analytica, but fundamentally it didn't change anything. But that was Cambridge Analytica is when people started to really pay attention. And so they've been keeping score ever since. And again, Facebook came out of it pretty much unscathed in the sense of, nothing really changed except people's perception of them. And there have been a bunch of things since then. Obviously COVID was a huge deal, and the election and the obvious cozying up to Trump. Big issue for the employees. And that was the first time the employees started to actually push back. Then, of course, the insurrection happened. And that was humongous because it was so obvious Facebook had played a giant role. So the employees have been pushing back since last summer, for a year, and more than a year. And, this whistleblower came out 3 weeks ago with all this stuff. And it was all internal documentation. And it didn't really tell us anything we didn't know. But what it did was it gave us receipts for absolutely everything. And I mean, the receipts were, people have been complaining about a problem, people like me. And they had research people who looked into it. And the research people confirmed that, yeah, that's going on. And actually, it's a lot worse than it looks on the outside. So to the extent that we learned anything new, it's just that everything that we thought was wrong, except maybe worse than we thought it was. Although I got to be honest with you, speaking for myself, it's been a while since I abandoned any hope that anything was less than the worst possible case. So anyway, I think that Congress has gotten the message. If you watch that hearing, one of the things that was really telling was to see the senators from both sides speaking to each other, not just civilly, but going, hey, I think we need to do a bill to do X or Y. And a Republican would suggest it, and a Democrat would go, yeah, I agree with you, let's do that together. I mean, I don't think there's any other issue facing the country today where you can get Republicans and Democrats to agree to actually do anything together, at least not in the Senate. And so that was really surprising. Now, the reality is there's still a lot of work to do to help people understand what the solutions should be. In my opinion, there are three areas: safety, privacy, and competition. And you need to do them all together. And the problem is getting people to focus on all three at once. The good news, I guess, is that within Congress, different people have responsibility for antitrust, which is competition, than have the consumer protection mandate, which would be the safety and the privacy piece. So you can do them in parallel. But you have to do all three. Because if you don't do all three, then this is going to get a lot worse. Because the problem here is, you look at Facebook, you go, it can't possibly get any worse than that. And the answer is, trust me, it can. Facebook is already 100 times worse than it was 3 years ago. And Facebook's going to get worse. And if you think that's bad, wait till you see what's coming in. Artificial intelligence, some of these smart devices, facial recognition, crypto. I mean, all these things are, right now there's literally no supervision at all. So there's nothing to keep people from doing really bad stuff. And it's a lot easier to do bad stuff than good stuff, so that's what people do. Because remember, every CEO, whether you're Mark Zuckerberg or the head of a bank or an oil company, their job is to maximize shareholder value. And basically, they treat that the way the guards at the Nazi camps treated the term, I was just following orders, which is, optimize for shareholder value excuses a lot of sins. And that's why you see so many sins, why you see so many companies behaving so badly across the economy. And the problem, of course, is everybody in corporate America looks at Google and Facebook and goes, I want to be that profitable. So they're all adopting that surveillance capitalism business model. So the trick is, how do you get rid of that? That's going to take some work. And that's what I've been doing all week, in all 17 of my appearances, the 16 TV ones and the radio one. I'm harping on this issue. You need to address all three. And safety means having a thing that's like the FDA, that looks at every technology product every year and says it's safe for this product to be in the market. And by the way, if it turns out we're wrong, you owe us a pile of money. The privacy is just saying, look, ideally, let's get rid of surveillance capitalism. If we can't do that, let's at least ban all third-party use of health information, location information, finance information, app usage, app data, browser history, that kind of stuff. The really intimate stuff. And then, antitrust is the competition thing where you really need to upgrade things for the 21st century. So we'll see. I'm still working on it. But what we really need is for everybody in the country to rally around and say, we have a choice. We can either live in the world that Facebook and Google want us to live in, which is a very efficient world, but you'll be making fewer and fewer of your own choices. They'll be taking on more and more of the things that are important in your life and telling you what to do. And maybe that's okay, right? But you should decide, because if you don't do anything, that's what we're going to get. But if you want to do something different, if you kind of like making your own choice, if you like picking your own politicians, that you're going to have to do some work, because democracy's in a lot worse shape right now than Google and Facebook. No matter how bad this is for Facebook, their situation is better than the Senate, for example. So there's that to keep in mind. So we have work to do. I'm still at it. So are some other good people. And this whistleblower, that's a new entrant, and that's good. I'm looking through you. Where did you go? I thought I knew you. What did I know? You don't look different, but you have changed. I'm looking through you. You're not the same. Your lips are moving, I cannot hear. Your voice is soothing, but the words aren't clear. You don't sound different, I've learned the game. I'm looking through you, you're not the same. Why, tell me why did you not treat me right? Love has a nasty habit of disappearing overnight. You're thinking of me in the same old way. You were above me, but not today. The only difference is you're down there. I'm looking through you, and you're nowhere. Treat me right. Love has a nasty habit of disappearing overnight. I'm looking through you. Where did you go? I thought I knew you. What did I know? You don't look different, but you have changed. I'm looking through you. You're not the same. Baby, you changed. I'm looking through you. I'm looking through you. Friday morning, I couldn't get the airplanes from my head. Held my baby a little closer, spent the day in bed. Laid there thinking about tomorrows, all the goods I need and all I have. Something's bound to make or break me back in Amsterdam. Well, you bathed me in a chest of Spanish gold, tear away the promise from the miner's only soul. Spin the wheel of fortune, risking everything I had, all or nothing back in Amsterdam, back in Amsterdam. We're on the bus forever ever, past the hat around the blonde cafes, every terrace ringing with the laughter the organ grinder made. Played a Vanda Puck on every Sunday, singing up to sleep my only plan. All around the rivers overflowing, back in Amsterdam. Where your forces fall of fortune in my hand, look around the corner, changing passion to demand. Spin the wheel of fortune, risking everything I have, run the river, back in Amsterdam, back in Amsterdam. There's life around the corner, sometimes life just disappears, like romance in the married years. I fear the bread and roses a settled life would offer me, take me where I long to be, back in Amsterdam, back in Amsterdam, back in Amsterdam. All right, I'm at the end of the show. Got one more song. So far, so good, I guess. Send this one out to Ann. When I was young, well, I was also poor. Well, my luck was bad, and I could never score. Every day was strange, and my fortunes changed. Fell in love like never before. Fell in love when you first walked through that door. And every day I love you more and more. More and more and more. More and more and more. Every day I love you more and more. When I look at you, can't believe you're real. 'Cause in every way you are my ideal. Living in a dream, weed and wine and ice cream. You have to know how great you make me feel. I fell in love, you first walked through that door. And every day I love you more and more. More and more and more. More and more and more. Every day I love you more and more. I can't pretend to be cool, you can see through me like lies. My cards are facing up again, you always know what's up again. When I'm out of line, you're there to kick my ass. I was saying, darling, I fell in love. You first walked through that door. And every day I love you more and more. More and more and more. More and more and more. Every day I love you more and more. More and more and more. More and more and more. Every day I love you more and more. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You know, let's wish the best to Jason's family. And those of you who got to see Chris Crosby play with Doobie Decibel System or Jason Crosby and Friends, you know what a beautiful person he was. And so keep him in your hearts. And look out for each other, right? It's the ones who are left that we need to be careful about. And so let's take really good care of each other, take good care of ourselves the best you can, and let's do great things together. Actually, let me give you a little bit of an update about network and what's going on for the music point of view. It's pretty cool. We're putting together a bunch of stuff. So it looks like the first song's actually going to come in November. Looks like we'll do one song in November, one song in December, and kind of go once a month. At first, I thought we'd do one around Halloween and then one at the end of the year, but it looks like we're just going to do them once a month. So one of them around Thanksgiving and one of them around New Year's Eve, and then one, end of January, and then I think we'll put out an EP. So that'll all be all new material. And then we'll do the same thing again, 3 more songs and then an EP. And I think the EP will be like 5 songs. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 2, right? And we'll keep doing that for quite a while because we got so much stuff already recorded and we have more stuff in the plan. And, we would just ask if you don't mind, right? If you already use a streaming service, please like Moon Alice, right? Put all the songs in the playlist that you can stand to listen to. Like other bands that are in the fans like thing, because we want to really build a nice community and, try to introduce our songs around. I mean, the stuff that's on there now is the older stuff, but we're really proud of it. And, it'd be fun to make the thing a success. And I think together we can do that. And it's going to take a while to build it, but that's okay. We're into that. It's just a new adventure. And, in the long run, if we do this right, we're going to do some things that have never been done on Spotify and Apple Music, right? I mean, they don't really have, taper sections and live music and all that. And there's no reason why we can't put that stuff up there. And we have so much of it. It would be really fun to, eventually just carpet bomb the place. And so, there's thousands of songs up there. I mean, why not? But that'll take a while. We're going to have to build a real audience first, and people are going to have to like us, but we're going to do our best. We're also talking about some live shows, maybe Halloween weekend. It's looking really good for the weekend after that. Maybe one up in Auburn, maybe one in San Francisco. So keep your ears peeled for that. It's important to keep playing, and everybody's really into it. And, so just let's look out for each other, okay? And we're going to do our best to keep you entertained. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week, and, assuming everything goes well, I'll see you next weekend. Take care.